Hi guys, welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Romit and today we are driving the MG Hector. Now we have already driven the petrol and the automatic variant of this SUV. This however is the diesel manual variant. So stay tuned to this video as we tell you everything you need to know about this SUV. So let's start off with the front end, and the very first thing you'll notice that this is a very broad car, very tall car, and whatever variant of the MG Hector is, whether be it the automatic variant, whether be it the petrol or diesel, so the setup on the front is exactly the same. There is no difference. You get the DRLs over here that are also the dynamic indicators that swipe from inside to out, look really cool. You get a lot of chrome, you can see a lot of chrome accents over here, then around the headlamp unit and the fog lamp unit. Now this is the headlamp that's placed in the bumper, full LED lighting system for the low beam, high beam, cornering light, fog light and everything. Huge grille over here, a huge MG logo, a front camera because it has 360-degree camera. The feature is really helpful. So yeah, you get a front camera, cameras on the ORVMs and one at the rear, so it stitches the image and presents when you're actually parking at very tight spaces. So overall guys, when you look at the front, the car looks really good, and it is really broad and wide, and plus all these chrome elements and these highlights over here, and especially the DRLs, just make the car look really awesome from the front. So now let's talk about the side profile of the car. As you can see, the car, I mean, it is really tall. You can see I'm a 6'2" guy. It's almost till my head's height. So yeah, so you get some aggressive lines that run all along from the headlight where the DRL is ending all the way and ends here in the tail light. Plus you get some lines over here, body lines, the character lines. You get chrome. So chrome is present everywhere in the car, guys. You can see chrome accent here, chrome accent here. There's Morris Garages written over here, that's embedded in the chrome. You get body colored ORVM with integrated indicators over here, and you can see that these set of wheels look really nice in the car. These are machine cut alloy wheels, look really fantastic. Goes overall with the size, could have been an inch bigger I think, but yeah, overall this setup looks really nice. You get chrome on the door handles, you get keyless entry, so you can press the button and you don't need to take a key out or something. So yeah, that's a really good feature. You get roof rails over here that finished in silver. And one more thing guys, you can see that when I'm shaking the car, it is actually shaking a lot. So what that means is that the suspension setup is really soft, the ride is really comfortable. I'll tell you more about that when I drive the car, but as of now guys, you can see from the side also, the car is absolutely fantastic. It's big and it is, I mean, it really looks good, doesn't it? This is the top of the line diesel variant. This is a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine that pumps out 168 bhp of power and 350 Nm of torque. Now this is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, and the engine is really peppy, it's really fast. I'll tell you more about that when I drive the car, but as of now I can say brilliant mileage. The engine sits a little lower, you can't see it over here, so everything is packed over here. You cannot fiddle with anything. You have to open these panels like this to access the battery or something. So yeah, I mean, overall this engine is really peppy. It's a diesel, so there will be some amount of engine noise, but I just really love this engine, and a very usable power for the city as well as on the highway. So now let's talk about the last bit of the exterior, that's the rear of the car. And as you can see again, that the rear of the car looks good, looks really fantastic, especially because of this tail light section. Now it gets a very sleek tail light section, full LED tail light section. Again, you can see the tail light is from here to here. Now this part that you see from here till here is just a reflector. It does not glow, it does not light up, anything like that. Again, you can see that there is chrome present over here, huge MG logo, camera over here, but obvious because the 360-degree has to have a camera. Wiper along with a washer, rear defogger. You can also see it gets a fishtail antenna over there and a kind of a spoiler that you cannot see from the back, but when the car is passing from the side, you can see that this extends outwards, creating a good finishing look to the car when you see it from the side. Overall, you can see guys, it gets the Hector badging over here, it gets an internet inside badging over here, and you can see it gets a strip of reflector over here, and these are the reverse lights, and you can see it gets this chrome around the tailpipe also, and there's one more over there that's kind of fake. If you want to remove that and put one more exhaust, like a fake exhaust, I mean, it'll look really nice. They have this diffuser kind of a thing. That's not exactly a diffuser, it's a design. So overall guys, you can see that from the rear also, car looks pretty good. And since we're talking about the rear, let's talk about the boot. So to open the boot, you just have to press it once. So it's an automatic boot. I really love this feature. So there you go, the 587 liter of boot space. That is a lot of boot space. You have this adjustable rack that you can keep some stuff on it. If you don't want it, you can remove this entire thing. If you want more space, there's a 60-40 split over there. Just fold the seats down and you can get, as it is, there's 587 liter of boot space. If you fold that down, I mean, you can literally sleep in this car. So yeah, that's the boot guys. You have a boot lid and you have your spare wheel, and that's the toolkits over there. To close the boot, just press this button. Pretty easy and simple, isn't it? So yeah guys, I love this feature, and the car from the rear also looks absolutely gorgeous. So now we are inside the cabin, and the first thing when you enter, you'll notice that there is a lot of space. Since this is a very big car, it's got a lot of room for air, and you have a huge panoramic sunroof that further increases the ambience from inside and makes the car look even better. So you get a steering wheel that's a pretty chunky looking steering wheel. It's a wrap steering wheel, and it's kind of a flat bottom steering wheel, so it's nice. I mean, it gives you that sporty feel, that sporty effect. Plus you get brushed aluminium finishes. Steering mounted controls are really nice. On the left hand side you have the cruise control, and all that. On the right hand side you can control the infotainment system and a lot of things. The instrument cluster is partly digital, so in the center you have an MID screen that gives you a lot of information about the car. You have the speedometer and the tachometer in analog, but the tachometer does not go clockwise, it actually goes anti-clockwise. So you'll take some time to get used to that, but otherwise, I mean, the fit and finish quality over here inside is really nice. It's really awesome. You get the ORBM adjust buttons over here, the light beam adjust over here. This is the brightness for the instrument cluster. You can open the boot from here and close the boot from here as well. Over here you can see, do you have some soft touch finishing on the door, some the power window buttons, lock unlock. You have some piano black touches over here that are really nice. Also you get an infinity sound system that is mesmerizing guys. This infinity sound system is so awesome, and you get this huge touchscreen infotainment system that's close to like 10 inches. It's more than 10 inches and it is just awesome. I mean, it's practically a tablet. You can play videos on it, you can actually do a lot of things, and it gives you a lot of information about the car. The fit and finish quality over here guys is really awesome. I just love the interiors of this car. So now let's head to the rear and tell you more about that. So now we are at the rear seat, and first things first is the amount of space that this car has to offer. Just look at the amount of legroom and headroom that it has. This seat is according to my height. I'm a 6 feet 2 inch guy. That's fairly tall. So after that also you have plenty of legroom. Like just look at this distance. It's almost like 1.5 size of my palm distance over here. And plus you see this lever over here, you can just pull this. Seat just goes down, goes forward. Just relax and quietly go to sleep. Yeah, it's very comfortable. You can just shift with ease. There you go. I mean, just look at this. It's a flatbed, so there is no transmission tunnel running. So shifting from right to left or left to right is really easy. You have a center armrest, 2 cup holders. If you're 4 people traveling, you have AC vents, you have a charging socket, comfy seats. What else do you want guys? I mean, for a long trip, I don't think anything is better than, I mean, having a lot of space in the car, plus a panoramic sunroof and a comfortable seat that reclines way too far. So we are back at the driving seat of the Hector, and first things first, let's talk about the suspensions first. So it's a very comfortable car. The ride quality is really plush, it's really comfortable. Because the suspension is tuned to be really soft. Now what that tends to do is that on higher speeds, the car has, since the suspension is really soft, the car has a lot of body roll. So what happens is that when at high speed you're taking a corner, or maybe for example you are just shifting lanes, the entire car tends to wobble a lot. And since it has a lot of body roll, I mean, that's the only part that I do not like about the car. The suspension should have been a little more stiffer. It's a pretty brilliant car. You have all the features, you have all the luxury items that you require. The seats are really comfortable. Electric seats for both driver as well as the passenger, but the driver's side only gets the electric height adjuster, not the passenger. But still, I mean, the electric seats, they're really comfortable, they're cushiony seats. Long drives on this car will absolutely be no problem. Now let's talk about the engine. So it's a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine. Engine is really peppy. It takes it takes a little bit of time to build up, but when it does, like this, you can see that the engine pulls, and power delivery is really linear. So there is no kind of loss in power after the mid-range, because the turbo is already kicked in. So after that, it just keeps on pulling, and the torque, I mean, it really helps, especially in lower RPMs. For example, the torque kicks in at around 1600 RPM, but if you're at a high gear at lower RPM also, so because of the torque, I mean, the car does not stall, or it just keeps on pulling. If you just gas it out, so it'll just keep on pulling, and there will be no problems. The steering wheel is really nice. The steering input from the steering is very precise. Like, for example, I'll tell you what was happening in the Mahindra Marazzo. Is that car was really brilliant, but the input from the steering I felt was a little bit off, because at high speeds when I was shifting lanes, it took time to shift lanes. Now this is basically, so when you flick the steering from left to right, I mean, the car was kind of going straight, but yeah, I could feel a little bit of movement. But in this car, what happens is that the entire car just shifts lanes. So I mean, the steering is absolutely awesome, and it's a very light steering wheel. Should have been a little more stiffer, because at high speeds the steering damping remains the same, it does not harden up. So that might cause a slight issue to people who are used to heavy steerings at high speed. It's really nice to drive it around. You do not have any problem maneuvering it in the city and the highway. It is fantastic. And let's talk about the mileage figures now. So the tank capacity of this is 60 liters. After driving from Bombay to Pune, 840 kilometers still showing on the distance to empty is something really astonishing that I have not come across till now. So yeah, overall on the highway, it will give you a mileage of around 18 to 22 depending upon how you drive. In the city, we are getting close to around 12 to 15. That is not bad for a car this size. And yeah guys, so overall I'm very happy with how this car performs, with how this car drives. People are saying, oh, very big car and no power, but let me tell you, this amount of power and torque is apt and is absolutely fantastic as far as, I told you, the city and the highway cruising or driving is concerned. So yeah guys, it's a big thumbs up from my end, and the Hector has just killed it as far as the features are concerned. I mean, in this price range, you're getting electric seats, you're getting electric boot that opens and closes electronically. You're getting everything. You're getting an infinity system, so much of space in the car, a huge panoramic sunroof. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, this car totally makes absolutely sense to buy, and it's just fun to drive it. So guys, this was the MG Hector diesel manual. That's the top of the line, and this carries a price tag of 17.3 lakh ex showroom. Slightly on the expensive side, but you get all the bells and whistles on this car, facilities, ground clearance, features, whatever you want. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope you liked the video. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. If you have anything else to ask about the car, please mention it down in the comment section, and we will get back to you on that. Till then, I'm Promit signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching.